thank you. Baine would have died without your aid.
I couldn't let that happen.
Nor could I. I refuse to fail him, like I failed his father. I wish I could change it all. Cairn, Garrosh, Theramore. Sometimes it feels like I did everything wrong.
We all have blood on our hands.
And now, Sylvanas will come. Thunder Bluff will burn, just like Teldrassil.
Once before, you and I stood side by side on the slopes of Mount Hyjal. That world tree did not fall, because the Horde and the Alliance worked together.
Horde, Alliance. We've come to this crossroad again and again, Jaina. It always falls apart. What's different this time?
We are. I should go. Anduin will want to know that Baine is safe.
Tell your king he is not alone.
Hey, it's Soul with another video, and after seeing this cinematic, I wanted to share some thoughts and a bit of speculation today. And to make up for the last time, I'm going to lead off with this. I like the cinematic. It's enjoyable, it's emotional, and it's got me wanting more. What makes this really fun is that in a few short weeks, we'll begin Season 3 of Battle for Azeroth, where we'll get at least one more cinematic after the Eternal Palace raid is completed, which should lead us into what we can expect in patch 8.2.5. It'll be interesting to see if our reactions are what we expect them to be. Okay, so we all see it. Thrall and Saurfang are openly defying their war chief, aka doing what they think is the right thing, and saved Baine Bloodhoof. This was largely thanks to Jaina Proudmoore and Mathias Shaw's help, and I think Thrall is right. Those three couldn't have escaped without being able to teleport out, you silly orcs, you. The mood of the cinematic leans heavily towards Jaina and Thrall's reunion. They haven't seen each other since the first battle for the Broken Shore, after Thrall got punked into giving up his Doomhammer, and Jaina left to go brood for about 2 years. Now the team's back together, but this whole ordeal takes a mental toll on Thrall, who's confronting the consequences of his past, and blames himself for, well, everything. I don't blame him for thinking that Sylvanas would go through with, or at least threaten, to raise Thunder Bluff in retaliation for what he's doing. Jaina reminds him that working together can prevent that from happening. As Jaina says, "You and I stood side by side at Mount Hyjal, and that world tree did not fall." Nice words and everything, but I haven't forgotten that the two factions, who by the way weren't made up of so many different races back then, didn't exactly prevent Nordrassil from falling so much as they delayed its sacrifice at Malfurion's order. The same may happen here though, and it's no less emotionally effective, where these two, a human and an orc, stand together, but don't exactly come out the winner. Instead, they do succeed at surviving long enough to prevent the worst outcome and live to see tomorrow. When Thrall doubts another Horde collaboration, Jaina reassures him by saying they, as in Thrall and Jaina, have changed. It's a callback to the incredible story that both of these characters have gone through as far back as their early upbringing. They've gained and lost a lot over the years, with many numerous victories and failures. Now they're looking at what could be a sanctuary for the Horde or a potential blighted crater. The cinematic frames the two of them as possible heroes of this battle for Azeroth. With apologies to Saurfang, or to dial it back, perhaps Thunder Bluff will be a warfront if that's the gameplay route that Blizzard wants to take. At any rate, their interactions end with a hint of hope. Maybe the sun is setting on this war chief's regime. Maybe the sun is rising to a new Horde. It's pretty unfortunate that Saurfang seems to have taken a backseat now that Thrall's shown up. I'm looking forward to seeing him and his pet troll Zakan be at the center shot again. And as many have pointed out, Jaina bounces with a flash, but hey, you forgot someone, yeah. So let's speculate based on just this cinematic. I'm not going to tie myself down into thinking, no, we have to address the Whisperers of the Dagger and Xalatath and whatever. Let's just focus on what's in front of us, but I'd like to hear more from you in a comment below. So, Thunder Bluff. I mention it as a possible warfront. Is it possible that a warfront will be what sparks off a showdown between those who are loyal to their war chief and a separatist faction led by Thrall and Jaina? And Saurfang, I feel bad, I'm like downgrading him already. This isn't completely off the table, but I doubt it, because there's an obvious problem here, like who's gonna be on whose side? It'll be weird if Horde players can choose one side or the other, but Alliance players can only choose one side. There's already enough Horde-centric content as it is, or maybe a B-mount will make up for everything. Or what if instead of a warfront this is some sort of crazy scenario that involves Thunder Bluff and everyone plays the same side? Then I would wonder to myself, if this is a sort of scenario that both Horde and Alliance players can play and they all play the same side, that means they're both fighting against Sylvanas. What about those die-hard Horde players who are loyal to Sylvanas? I think by this point there needs to be some sort of effective resolution that unites the players regardless of what actually happens. But if it's not going to be a warfront or a scenario, will Thunder Bluff be another capital that Sylvanas unleashes her intercontinental demolishers on? I don't think so. The Tauren are probably split unevenly between their loyalties to their young chieftain and the war chief of the Horde. But if Sylvanas destroys Thunder Bluff, she'll probably be dealt a fatal blow politically. Unless, of course, this is also part of some stupid plan. Earlier, I predicted that in patch 8.2.5, Sylvanas will vacate her warchief spot, either forcefully or by outright leaving it, while at the same time revealing her master plan, whatever that is. I still stand by that prediction, and I'm hoping for something jaw-dropping. Throughout this entire expansion, Sylvanas has been coming off as careless as could be, writing off each of her failures as just another step towards her grand plan. No doubt this has been wearing down the patience of fans who still hold out faith, while firing up the haters even more. Still, it's plain to see that Sylvanas purposefully propped the Baine up here, just to be rescued. He still looks fine, headdress and all, unlike Thrall from before, who literally had the balls knocked out of him. But between those who were loyal to either Sylvanas or to the spirit of the Horde, this build-up over the years has been a constant reminder and a promise of a big payoff. Has Sylvanas been phoning it in to viewers all this time, pretending that she knows what she's doing? Or are we going to see how she manipulated everybody from the beginning in this unbelievable 10-minute exposition? I'm going to remain hopeful, only because, well, that's more fun, and I'm eager to see what happens next. Meanwhile, the interactions between Jaina and Thrall once again revive the notions of ending the Horde versus Alliance conflict that has tied the world of Warcraft together for the past 15 years. Is this a sign that factions will come to an end? Probably not. Just my opinion based on the numerous times Blizzard has said this, there's always going to be two factions who are adversarial to each other in the Warcraft series. Now, who is on which side is up in the air, and down in the comment threads. I still stand by a possible future where, as player-controlled champions, faction lines blur, and where it's appropriate, players of all races can work towards common goals. Unless war mode is turned on, then, have at it. And that about wraps it up. I'm sorry for the raspy voice, but, the show must go on. Thank you so much for visiting anyway. Don't forget to drop a like, a comment, and to subscribe for more of this and all things Warcraft. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.